All right, hello everybody. I'm going to be starting a basic tutorial of how to play 7 Days to Die. One of my most favorite games, and there aren't enough tutorials in the world for everybody to use because everybody likes something different in a tutorial. I've got quests. The first quest is, which you will see, is to do the bedroll, and so it's always best to do the quests. The reason you want to do them, those you get sticks from. Hitting the grass gives you the plant fiber that you need to play the game. I usually get a few extra plant fibers because in the tutorial you're going to be also making yourself some plant fiber clothing, and you're going to need the plant fiber for making a stone axe. But you also need small stones and the twigs that you're getting from these. Anytime you see trash, always check it out. Duct tape and scrap polymers are both pretty important in the game. Not at the moment. And wow, this has 3 iron ore, which is really nice. So the desert happens to be one of my favorite places to start, probably because I'm just weird about cold. Yucca plants. You need 2 yucca plants in order to make yucca juice. You get this note, just a friendly reminder that you pay on time, every time or there will be consequences. Next time we won't be so nice. Thanks for the gear, but you still owe us. See you soon, the Duke. I don't know. I haven't really seen or read much about this. My guess would be that it is for a future quest line in the game. For now, you can just drop it. It's not really important at all. Watch out for the cactus. You will take damage if you get too close to them. So we got enough for a bedroll. I have 36. Should be plenty. You craft your bedroll. Takes a little bit of time. While that's going on, go look for some more rocks or small stones, because they're one of the things that you will eventually need. So when you have your bag open, if you shift, it'll shift it to your bar. Same when you're playing, and it shifts everything. It'll move it. Once you have a storage chest available, you can do the same thing. You can shift and it'll switch everything over there. You don't have to do it one at a time or drag it. So now that I have my bedroll out, you can rotate it by hitting the left button. If you notice, when it's down, there's these, there were white, I don't know, let's show you again. So you can see the white that's there. That is the non-spawn zone for your bedroll. Anyway, after you pick up your bedroll, wow, I didn't realize that there's a city down there, and there's a city right over here. I mean, I knew about this one. It was pretty obvious, but I didn't actually look any further than where I was already. So you put your bedroll down. If you see up in the top there's a bed symbol. If you die, you will respawn on your bed or near it. It will give you a choice. I normally take my bedroll with me, put it back up here, so that way when I find a place that I want to stay, at least for a couple nights or even longer, I can put it down. It makes it really nice because if you're out wandering around and you get lost, you can always find your way back because your bedroll is there. Of course, you can always do M for map, and it will show you where you can scroll out with your wheel. Right now it says it feels like 70. That's because if you hit the B button, it'll show you what you look like. Yes. You go over here and it'll give you what your health is, 100 out of 100. Food and water. You want to try and keep these up if you can. The feels like 70 is kind of a misleading, because until you actually become level 6, you have a bonus on this. So if you come over here, it tells you heat and cold resist. So right now it's at 65. When you hit level 6, you get this bonus is gone, and you better have clothing by then. So you can hit tab, open up your crafting, and it'll tell you the next thing you need. It also shows it over here on the upper right hand side, but so you can hit W, which I find is much easier than going over here to craft and back and forth all the time. You finish your quest, and so it didn't pop up the new one yet, but these little exclamation points in yellow are telling you what the next part of the quest is, and that's why we got the extra plant fibers, so we could actually get them. All right, once those are both finished, you can then get the next one, which is to actually wear them. And it will show you what the cold resist and the heat resist is for each of them. So once you finish that, then because you've gotten a little bit of wood, you can finish with your wooden club. That down here, usually put my, so I do everything backwards. Most people put their weapons over here because they're going to use 1, 2, or 3 with their movement fingers to choose which one they want. I have a tendency to use the scroll wheel a lot. So the next thing to do is craft a bow and arrow. In this case, I haven't seen a nest, which is where you would get your feathers from, but I wasn't really looking at the time. And a nest. Watch out for the small cactus too. They're just as bad as the big ones. So I'm going to be doing this for one day, just so that way it's not overwhelming on how much information you're going to get. I do go pretty fast. I am streaming this, so if you ever want to ask me questions, I stream normally Monday through Friday from 1 to 3. So even if you have questions about this is really weird. Usually in the desert you find more nests than I'm finding. So in this game they have books that give you perks. For example, this is Urban Combat Volume 6, Adrenaline Rush. Use your adrenaline rush of combat to energize your body. Armor doesn't slow you down when in combat. So the nice thing is that you can wear heavy armor and it won't slow you down. There are, well, I'll show you that in a little while. So you just can hit A and that'll use it and collect the other two things. Search garbage, nothing. Sports bags usually can give you weapons. In this case, some padded boots and a flashlight. So looking at a padded boots, it's light armor. There's a 7 armor rating. Effective resistance is 13 to damage. No stamina. It doesn't wear you out, and it doesn't stop your mobility, and there's no noise when you're trying to sneak. Durability is 180. So this is level 2 or rank 2. If it was 3, this would be up higher. This may or may not be up higher. But as you get better ones, it's usually just the endurance that's increasing and not anything else. And I have a tendency to wear these because they don't really do anything and they give a little bit of armor. If I get shoes or boots or something that will help with environmental resistance, heat and cold, then I will usually switch them out. Flashlight is if you have it in your bar and you go to it and you press F, it'll turn the flashlight on or off. It's really nice at night. I have a tendency, well, I don't have a tendency, I have my gamma turned up. So nighttime looks a lot like daytime. Well, okay, I'll take that back. I play a lot of D&D, And if you know what night vision is, that's pretty much what it's like. It's like having night vision. Wow. Not used to getting something this good at the beginning of the game. It's heavy armor. Its rating is 10. Stamina, it will take almost 1 point of stamina per second when you're moving or walking around, which stamina is what you use to run and get around with. Your mobility is 6%, and it increases the noise you make when you're sneaking by 20%. Max durability. I have a tendency to scrap anything that I don't want, mainly because I don't. Oh, there we go. Finally, bird's nest. Bird's nest. You find feathers. You also find eggs, and if you take some points in the cooking skill, you can make bacon and eggs, which is, I think, probably the thing I make the most, because I don't like to put a lot of points into something that I can use. Mainly because the game is set up pretty much that all the canned food that you find, for example, this, 15 stamina, 7 health. So if my stamina, which is my blue bar, gets low because I'm running around, I'm beating a lot of things, what'll end up happening is it'll go down, and it'll slowly go down to where your maximum will be less. This max stamina will increase that back up. If you get damaged, this health will help you to get better. That will give you more points. Food poisoning, not a chance with your canned goods. When you make bacon and eggs by yourself, what ends up happening is you get I think a 3 or 4% chance of being poisoned with food poisoning. So we'll make the primitive bow, and you only need to make 1 arrow at the moment. I mean, I could make 5, but I don't have a lot of wood or stone at the moment. Oh, yes, I was going to show you. So, wood block, you make 1 of those, put it down, right click, not right click, right click is the wrong one. So craft another one, right click places it, left click will rotate it, but in this case you right click and you build the wood frame. So then you finish that, and then you need, I believe it's 8 rocks to build the campfire. It's 5, okay, even better. So I usually don't care too much about doing this. I just like to get it done, because when you finish, good job, Survivor. You've proved to be capable with much potential. We have marked your map with the nearest White River outpost location. Those are the traders that you can go to. They're really nice for various reasons. There you will find a trader where you can buy and sell goods. The trade stories with one of our friendly citizens. Welcome aboard, Noah. Nobody knows who Noah is, and not all the traders are nice. Some of them will be very rude to you. And there's another bird's nest. So this is probably the the item that you're going to use quite a bit at the beginning of the game. This and maybe a shovel. And I'll explain why that is in a little bit. Nobody's on chat, so I can just keep talking. I'm usually not playing this early anyway. Most of the people that I know that I stream later in the day. And I did mention that already. So I'm trying to get more stone so that way I can build more arrows. Oh, if you go to N, it will show you all of the attributes: perception, strength, fortitude, agility, and intellect. So these are your 5 attributes that you can do. And then there are the attributes. Then you have combat, like for perception. You have combat perks, general perception perks and scavenging perks. If you go to the strength, you've got your combat perks, general strength perks, and construction perks. I have a tendency to do the things that I'm going to use the most first, which is Miner 69er Mother Load. The Miner makes you be able to make better tools, which have a longer better durability, so they last longer. When it comes to the Mother Load, you actually just get more items. You harvest more from knocking them down with your stick. Another one very important is Pack Mule, because you will run out of space in your inventory quickly, and then you will be running around with your endurance reduced. And then I always have the problem of either using this one, which Pummel Pete, which is for using a club of some kind, or using the agility, which would be the archer, and using your bow more often. Making a better bow, making a better club. If you're a person who likes to stand away from the things that you're trying to hit, that would be better. This perk goes really well. The Hidden Strike perk goes really well with archery. The perk that goes really well with Pummel Pete is the Couch Potato, because you will do power attacks with it and do more damage to the guys when you're attacking them. But let's do this. I'm not going to use either one of them yet. I just want to see which one will do better. So I've got 18 feathers. I want at least 18 and 18. So I'm going to craft. So basics, whenever you want to get to the basics, bedroll, campfire, bows, chest, arrows, stone axe, spear. A lot of people like the stone spear. It's brand new. I probably, again, eventually I will use a stone spear most, but I really like using the club, bows, guns. I like using everything. I have a tendency to use the club more often, especially when I'm indoors. It's a lot faster than trying to use a bow. But I will use the bow while I'm indoors, crouching and trying to kill things at a distance if I can. Sometimes I get surprised. That's what happens. This is for maxing out it, so I'm just going to max it out for now, using all my feathers. And if you are on bow, you hit R, and that will load your first arrow, and then it will load your arrows after that, unless you do something like a mod to the bow. But I don't think you can actually mod, except for color. Okay, level 1. Well, you do. You have a mod that you can put in there. So I can use pink dye in my mod, and now my bow is pink. That is one way I have found to empty out slots if you want to keep something, is by either putting it in something else or not. So let's go see if we can find a zombie, and which I'm sure we can. We've already been over here, I guess. Yep. All right. Bird's nests are, so there's your egg, another egg. They're very, very, very important. And so if you hit the control button, you will crouch. You can press C just for a more momentary crouch, but I like being able to just crouch, and I hate these things. They make noise, and the zombies can hear you better. So look at the ceilings. This is a nice ceiling. Nothing is going to drop out of it. I will come back and get these items once I know that the place has been secured. I'm not really one for going around and trying to kill zombies when I've got and collect things when there are zombies who are trying to kill me, which is always they're zombies. They like to hide everywhere, just so you know. And I have not found a zombie yet. Sometimes, like this bookcase over here, it'll be covered. They must be upstairs. So if they were upstairs and they had heard me come in from up there, they do drop down from ceilings. But so far everything looks pretty simple here. I need to find a place to stay. And the first day it's usually not too bad where you stay. You can stay pretty much anywhere. And as long as you're not making really any noise, you're pretty safe. And this is pretty nice. So far so good. Nothing's here. What you want to get when you start in the game. See, there's a zombie right there. Well, he saw me. So I hit him a couple times, and then I power attacked him. And the reason I was down, when I was crouched, I was under here, and then when I became uncrouched, it just put me up to this size of here. The thing about this game is that it's very much physics driven. So if you were to break out a whole bunch of the stuff that's around underneath, the building will start to fall down. And so now let's do this. Let's see what we can find. So usually if things are open, that means you can't get anything from them. Trash, you can almost always get something from. And of course, as soon as I say that, there's nothing there to get. There are a lot of things that are going to become available that you're not going to really need. Cabinet, so you get medicine cabinet. It used to be in the toilets. You would get guns, pistols, we called them toilet pistols, but don't get those anymore there. Not that I've seen since I started playing, I think the previous version, 17, Alpha 17. A lot of people pick up chairs and use them to burn instead of so a lot of people use them to burn in fires, in your campfires and stuff. So since I'm... Did you hear that? Yeah. She's a little harder to kill than the guy with the suit. So already I'm encumbered. That means that I've got 2 slots over what I should have. So I know that these scrap to lead, and I already have some lead. So I'll just... That light is annoying. That light would be annoying in real life. So more lead. Got 2 different types of chairs. I've got all this stuff. So I'll go in here. Oh, well. For right now. The reason I'm doing that is because there's another zombie out here somewhere. And if you're encumbered, you're slower too. If you can hit them in the head, that's awesome. And when you can smash their head in, it's even more awesome. I like melee. Let's see, you were in the kitchen. So hopefully you find a pot. That pot right there is probably the best early game item that you can get other than your weapons. And the reason is you get to boil water in the, okay, for example, these bottled murky water, you will need them later in the game. But right now, in order to get more water, you need to boil these in this pot in a campfire. So think that was pretty much it for down here and upstairs. So the game is starting to get closer towards the, what do you want to call it? Towards night. At night, the first day or so, there's not really much to do, but there are some things that I like to do. And one of them is, so that was probably the only one upstairs that I missed. So some things you want to do, you want to take the chairs, couches. One, you get experience points for them, but in my case, because I do get, fighting in melee, you do get hit more often. I have a tendency to get cloth fragments if I can. You can go up to recipes. The first thing I will make for myself is a bandana, because that helps. I will show you. With, and then I'll make a maximum number of band-aids. This gives you cold and heat resistance. So it's only 1 point, but for right now it's okay. And I will put that usually down there, because this is just to stop bleeding. It doesn't give you any health, and will increase your health back up. So what health means is that it returns your damage. This means that the damage that you've taken, your red bar will, like the endurance bar, go down, and then it'll move the maximum health that you can have back up. Yeah, that gives you leather. Leather is also very important, especially in the desert. Short iron pipe. Oh. Guess you got to be careful. Some places have you know, killing zombies is just fun. The noise that they make is also fun. Let's see if this is going to break. Nope, not going to break. All right, so downstairs, going to get the other things that I didn't get before. There's probably none down here. Oh yeah, here we go. So you need leather because you eventually want to make a poncho. And I don't know if I can look at it from here, but the poncho helps you to survive hot weather. So it's one of the things that I try to get as soon as possible when I'm living in the desert, because without it, it's pretty bad. I really think though that I'm gonna just find a room here, probably this one. So improve the door, and so if you right click, you will repair things. I think what I'll do in here, because it's night, it's the first day, and you don't really get to do much at night, I have a tendency to want to dig. All right, so now my stone axe is a bit broken. You can repair it. You can just hit the A. It's simple enough. As long as you've got stone, it will fix the stone. So I am going to put a, go back to my basics, go to storage, craft a storage container. So I could reduce this by putting some of it down here, but I'm not really having to run away from zombies at the moment, so put a locker there, chest, and then I'll just put all my stuff in there for now. Usually not the stone, not the wood, and not the feathers. And sometimes not that either. So I was going to show you with yucca, you can make a recipe, yucca juice, which yucca juice provides excellent hydration. So currently, water gives you 20, stamina regen 15, so if you're running or doing strenuous things, it will give you 50% back of your stamina. So right now at level 1 it would give 15, and it has a 3% chance of giving you dysentery. The only problem about being in the desert is that you cannot get goldenrod. Goldenrod, if you make goldenrod tea, that helps take care of dysentery. But the yucca juice, I'll show you what it does in a minute, but I can hear a zombie outside. And we all know what we do with zombies. We kill them. And that guy is... so I don't know if you heard that just now, but that was a dog. And dogs, they're a jackal. It's a hyena or something. It's one of the new ones. So if you crouch and shoot, there we go. Sometimes you can do enough double damage to kill them outright. You get 2 times damage, and now he's hurt. So these guys are tough. So I better run away if I can. Don't have any endurance. I'm gonna die my first day. Oh no! And they will eat you. You know, he is really tough for a first level character to kill. If I'd had my stuff upgraded, probably wouldn't have been so bad. So it respawns you in another location. If you want to go back to where you were, you just have to try and find out where that was. Very sad. So I'm going to put a quick waypoint. That'll tell me that it's 2.4 kilometers away and in that direction. A lot of people like the forest when they start. I had nothing drop, so, which is really kind of sad. I really wanted to go back. All right, let's see if I can get back there in 2 hours. Usually, most people will go and try and at least, so normally what happens, okay, is it will create a little like Grim Reaper above your name. Man. Oh, that's awesome. So you can get your stuff back, but all right, so what you want to try and do first is to get enough bones to create a bone knife, so you will get more stuff back for when you're harvesting a creature. Usually a deer. Anyway, I got a book to get there. Normally I wouldn't have done that, but I just kind of wanted to show. So you hear, I don't know if you can hear the crickets, but when the crickets start, that means you've got 3 hours before it's going to be nighttime officially. And so, and if you see up there, there's a vulture. When you're in dire straits and things are going bad, they always show up and they always want to attack you. I don't really want to fight any zombies right now. I just want to get back to where I was, so that way I can spend the night doing something productive as opposed to hiding in a ditch, trying to survive my first night. All right, so it looks like I'm not too far away. I really want to collect all these things, but I don't really want to do that. So that was dying. I don't even want to tell you how many times I've died, because it's not very many. But I always die from doing something stupid, and I'm hoping that the Oh, that's not even the town. That must be the town on the other side. So as you can see, I'm running out my endurance, and there's a little piece of it that's missing because of me continuously using my endurance. And it is not fair. Well, it is fair. Normally in this game, when I'm playing solo, if I die, I start over because the zombies won. It's not fair for me to continue. Oh look, another one. So because of all the running and being in the desert, you will start to lose water quickly. So cold resistance are up because of what I've done, but now my water and stuff is low, and I'm just going to use it. Well, maybe it was the wrong time to use it. I should have put it in my bar and used it then. But I don't want to run up over that. It takes more time than it's worth. Oh look, another one. Lots of them in the desert. Not so many in other places. So you can see my water is going back up to 128, 130. You want to try and keep your water up. It's not more important than your food, but without the water, you can die fairly quickly. And the nice thing is that I get to see a lot of stuff. I've got 2 hours in game time to get there. And currently I am gone about halfway. Still got 1.3 kilometers to go. Shopping cart might have food. No, but it does have water, which is a good thing. Some people will die when they're poisoned, Whoops, wrong one. Another. And how sweet. They love me so much. So, I also normally play this game. Beware of dogs. Oh my gosh. I haven't seen one of those in a long time either. Alright. It's nice that getting to play this game and starting over. You know, there's a snake, and I do not want to have to deal with a snake either. And there's a zombie. And, you know, it is kind of that way. If I don't find some place soon, I am going to probably end up dying. Again. How far am I? Less than a kilometer. Oh, and I'm encumbered too. Well then, let's just do that. Now I won't be encumbered. That makes your endurance go faster also. So now you can see one of the reasons why I don't want to wear armor, especially at the beginning of the game. If you do have to run and get away quickly, it's if your endurance is being reduced because of, you know, your armor, you're not going to get to run as fast. And there's another one. How sweet. If I had coffee or beer, that would totally help me to do this better. Coffee boosts your stamina, and so does beer. Both do it in different ways. So you can see that the red flag has gotten larger also in the game. You know, I don't know, I'm not usually this compulsive about doing something like this, but 0.6, I might make it. So I have an hour. I went, what, 0.3 in 1 hour? Maybe I'll get there after dark and it won't be so bad. But if I get there after dark, then I probably am just going to end up dying. I don't want to have to climb over stuff. Because this takes more endurance also. And yes, I am a little nervous. I want to be able to survive my first night. I didn't survive my first day, but you know, surviving the first night would be a benefit. Of course, now that I've gone uphill, so this is on a higher level. I'm almost there. I can actually see the town now. Yeah, go ahead. You follow me if you want. During the day, they walk. At night, they sprint. So if I don't get there quickly, let's see, which house was it? Pretty sure it's down this way. Yeah, pretty sure it's that house right there. And if it's not, yep, see, there's the guy again. All right, I killed him. Let's see if the dog's still there. I've still got 15 minutes. 12. Nothing like cutting it close in this game. And the bathroom was over here. Thank you very much. All right, so I made it back, and I probably won't continue to stream this, but I might. Nice. That's why I wanted the dog and the deer, is because I wanted to get more leather. This stuff is used for making plots, so that way you can grow food. And actually you can make other things, which some of them are a bit shaky. Recipes for moldy bread, you can make antibiotics, but you have to actually have the perk for that, and it'll show you. The perk is Yay Science, and it's here. You can't actually get the first one, which is to craft glue, aloe cream, and gunpowder, until you have intellect level 4. Can make it a bit tough. For the vehicles, bike mechanic, a mini bike, motorcycle, grease monkey, which is a 4x4, and this one is actually, you make a gyrocopter. This doesn't open until level 2. Advanced engineering, you can make a forge, 20% faster. Crafting items with it, but you only need to have 1 point. I now have 3. And I think I will go do the pummel peat and make better ones of those. Let's increase my. I'm going to increase my strength. I'm going to do this one, so that way my power attacks are less endurance, because that was part of the problem I had. And I always like to keep 1 point, because I always forget that there's something that I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to crouch. And did I finish putting everything in? No, I did not. Coffee beans. Probably should eat something. Yes. So what eating does is it helps your endurance. It moves that bar back up. So I can put the torch up. Well, come on, where am I? There we can. There we go. You can pick up the torch later, but that way we have at least some visibility on what's going on. I don't want that, and so we'll talk about that later. Maybe I will put this down. There we go. I should have done that to begin with because this is where I wanted to be, and then I wouldn't have had to run the 2.6 kilometers to get back here. I am going to make a campfire, and I am going to then make my murky water into actual water. So the yucca, if you actually make yucca juice, that takes away the food poisoning aspects, and instead of 20 you get 34 water back. This, if you drink it, you've got a really good chance of getting dysentery, which is something you do not want. All right, whatever. I need a little bit more space in here. That's not what I wanted, but something actually is out there and can hear me. And it sounds like a spider zombie. They crawl around and they can leap about 3 or 4 blocks. And when they leap at you and they try and hit you and they kind of land past you. So you can either try and dodge just by moving to the side. So press E, put some wood in there, do this, find the recipes that are available, which is boil water, cook the maximum. It's going to take 4 minutes because there's 6 of them. And I don't have anything in Master Chef. And I'm not going to take anything for now, even though I could cook some food if I did that. But you do that, and that actually creates a little bit of stuff, a little bit of light. But I am going to dig. Because if you notice, just by doing that, I was able to get some experience points. It's not a lot. And I have forgotten that I can actually make a level 2 axe now. And then you can scrap the one you have, and it's smart enough to put the one that you had back in. If you're digging through dirt, it's usually better to do it. So if you click on plant fibers and recipes, it'll give you the stone shovel. And that'll be at rank 2 also, because it's one of the tools that you use. And you use it for mining, as it says. And look, a lot of XP. Good and bad about some of the stuff that I'm doing. The bad is that heat is... Yes, so the spider zombie is out there now. If I come over here, the light will not show too much. If he walks by again, I will try to shoot him. But for right now, so above the 2 bars, that's the crouch and what % chance they have of seeing you. Well, that was close. We'll repair that. Just, don't like zombies, so I'm going to kill them any chance I get and try to kill them any chance I get. Let's see if we can All right. So to have a tendency to also want to just dig at an angle down. So that way you can kind of go back up. This one is a little too far down, but I got my arrow back. Anyway, this is one way to actually be useful during a nighttime, especially to begin with. Because seriously, there's not really much you can do. Normally you don't have a lot of stuff yet, and you know, leveling is nice. Normally you would want to use a wrench on something like that, but don't have a wrench because you need short iron pipe for a lot of things. When you look at the recipes, I mean, it's a page plus more. Forge is very important. Chemistry station is very important. A lot of people make blunderbusses, which is like your first actual weapon to be able to shoot things with. But I've never really liked it because it's, I don't know. Maybe I just like the bow better. Did I increase my? Yes, I did. So I can go back and I can go back to the basics again. Wooden club, rank 2, craft. So now I'll show you. If you click on something, it'll give you all the stats: melee damage, power damage, block damage, stamina cost, attacks per minute, and durability. So normally when you will increase something like the club I just did, most of the time it's just max durability. Sometimes, because I guess there's a little randomness in it, you will get something else better. For the club, I guess it does other things, but for this, for the bow, if I made a level 2 bow, it would be mostly just the endurance, that max durability that's increased. So now I have a better club. I will scrap that for the wood, and I will put this down here. Also in here, where's the fat? You can make candles, which don't put out so much of a heat signature. You need a plant fibers and animal fat. Oh, probably because I don't have any. No. So somewhere, maybe it's just in your own. Sorry. Maybe if it's in your own inventory. Yes. Okay. So I guess the hammer means that you can make it, and if it's for a campfire, it's a different. Yeah, I'm going to get back to doing this now that there's more light available. Anyway, when it comes time for the next day, I'll be stopping. So you can actually, if you're careful, you can actually slope down your tunnels, which we'll end up doing also when I make my first base, because I like to have a place where I can put everything and have it pretty much be safe, because zombies will destroy everything that they possibly can. This is just the way they are. Oh, so now I've hit rock. So now you switch to your hammer. So now the hammer doesn't actually do very well against stone. It's made out of stone itself, and but a pickaxe will do really well. But I don't have a pickaxe, so this is the next best thing to do, especially because the shovel is even worse against it. So daylight starts at 4 o'clock, 7 days to die time. And if I put this down here, then I can put it on something, and now I have more light. So that's telling me it's dirt again. And that's telling me that it's rock. So with rock or stone, you only get small stones. With dirt, as you can see, you will get clay soil and you will get crushed sand. And eventually, you do get some small stones, but not very many. But I do like the that you can actually get experience points for doing this. Also, the nice thing is that if it was a if you were like level 6 and you were down here, you have a better chance of not getting overheated in the desert, or if you do this in other biomes. It looks like you get more experience points using the shovel. Oh, it's because it's easier. The dirt is easier with the shovel. You just have to hit more times with the stone axe. See, I'm only doing 30, so I'm not doing a lot of XP at the moment. The other one, you're doing quite a bit more. And there's a lot more stone. So getting the experience points here is a lot better. It's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we're out of here. Go check some more buildings, go kill some zombies. So, items repair, just open your inventory, click on the item and hit A. So the nice thing about stone tools is that you can do that with these. With the metal tools, either the iron or the steel axes and shovels and sledgehammers, you need to actually have a repair kit. You'll also need repair kits for all of your weapons. And you'll need repair kits for all of your vehicles that you drive. And you'll need repair kits a lot. I can hear a zombie, which is nice. And I did level, didn't I? Nope. Darn it. So if you want to see what level you are, if you hit I, it'll give you level 2, game stage of 2. If you have people that are playing, you can have these next 5. It tells you if they're part of the party, if they're an ally, if you can close enough to hit voice, how far away they might be, and where they are on the map. So I've killed 6 enemies and I've died once myself. Not a loser, but you know, I play one in 7 days to die. Because it's almost time to leave, so it looks like he saw me. So I am going to make myself a couple of frames, and I'm going to put them up in the hopes that I can hold him off long enough see, he stopped seeing me. That's why I went down, and that's why he stopped beating. Just want to hide long enough to where it becomes daytime and I have a better chance, because they can sprint, they move a lot faster, they hit a lot more often. And it sounds like he made it through, but that might give me enough of a chance. just because. I'm going to fix it back up. So if I wanted to improve it, I would need more scrap iron than I have. But I am going to just get my stuff and find a new place. Because it's not that this is a bad place. Make sure you take all your stuff. Guess I'll leave most of the stuff here until I need to come back for it. I don't need any more plant fiber because I already have. So now I can fix this with just stone. And if you notice, one of the benefits of digging is that I've got a lot of stone now. Anyway, thank you. If you like this video, as they say, hit the like button if it was helpful. If you want to leave comments, ask me any questions, you can also do that in the comment section. And if you want to subscribe to my channel or watch me on Twitch, feel free to do so. If you have any suggestions, you're a player who's played a long time and you're looking for new information and you have any questions, just let me know. I've had a few hours of doing this. But remember, the first day that you want to try and find a place that's going to be safe to stay, and you want to be able to start making your tools, your weapons, and find a place where you can get some experience while you're waiting the first night, because otherwise it's pretty much useless. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a pleasant day.